Here is my shipment for the week. One small box, 12 by 12 by 12 box, 30 items, mostly books, about 8 or 10 CDs, and a few VHS tapes. This one, once again, I don't know if I'm lucky or if it's where I am, but it's going to an in-state warehouse. There's a couple that are close by, actually 2, I believe. So maybe it's just location, guys. I don't know. If you don't live near a warehouse, then possibly it's location, but maybe not. I'm not sure. Maybe it's location plus the types of items you're sending. So this was 18 pounds, 30 items, and it was $5 and change to send. So that's pretty phenomenal. And we'll drop it off, and it should be checked in by tomorrow at the earliest, or 2 days, by Wednesday, 2 days from now at the latest. After dropping off that box at UPS and picking up some light bulbs at the store, I decided to go to Walmart and see if I could find anything on clearance that I could resell on Amazon. Retail arbitrage is something that I'm not too familiar with, other than just logically looking for stuff on sale or clearance or whatnot, and scanning it, looking up on Amazon. I know that I can't do certain categories like grocery or health and beauty, that sort of thing. There's still a lot of sections that I can look up, like toys and whatnot. I was looking through the sporting goods section, and I saw a little part of it that had a lot of yellow tags that had clearance on it. Basically, from what I can understand, the rollback means that the price is cut a little bit, but when it says clearance, it's potentially cut dramatically. I saw $2, and next to these, golf balls, Bridgestone Golf, and there were 3 boxes of them, so 12 golf balls in each. And it said $2, so I looked them up, and lo and behold, they're going for, Amazon selling them for about $12.83. So it's not book and CD type of return on investment, but it's still good. And $2 into, let's say, well, these are a little heavier, so maybe $8 or so. So maybe 3 to 4 times, probably more like 3 times my money. I thought that was great, you know, $2. I was kind of surprised. And then when I got up to pay, she's like, $38. I said, oh no, they're going for $2. She said, oh, well, I have to go look. So she took a while to go look, and then she said, well, they weren't supposed to be out there. And I didn't know what she meant. And basically she meant that the price was supposed to be $12, not $2. So either they put the wrong tag, or they put the $2 tag underneath the wrong item, or the wrong item above the wrong tag, whatever it is. But they said they were willing to honor it, which I thought was pretty amazing. I'm kind of surprised by that. But they did honor it, and I was able to get them for $6 and change, like $6.40 or something like that. So that was good. Weird thing was there wasn't a rank, but there was 21 5-star reviews, and there were quite a few other FBA offers on there, actually going for more than what Amazon was selling them for. So I assume they must be selling a lot of, these must be selling pretty fast. So if I just underprice Amazon, I should be able to move them, all 3 of them, pretty quick. So I figure $6. They all sell for, let's say, around $12 each, so about $36 minus fees and inbound shipping. So it still looks like pretty good money, at least maybe 4 times or more, 4 to 5 times what I paid, probably more like 4.5, based upon my rough math. So that was an entertaining and interesting and educational experience that I didn't mind, actually. It's kind of fun. I go in there with the kids, and it's kind of better to go through Walmart or a place like that and randomly looking at items to resell with the kids, because with books I just kind of stay in the same place and spend a lot of time there, and that doesn't really work. When I keep moving, it entertains them and keeps them busy and occupied. But a big problem I ran into was the internet connection was really weak there. And also the funny thing is, the further, more middle of the store and closer to the front, the signal was better than in the back, which is exactly where I wanted to scan with the toys and the other sporting goods and whatnot, items that were on clearance. There was a lot of them. So it was taking forever to pull up on the Amazon app. I tried Profit Bandit, which I installed a long time ago, to see if it would work, and that wasn't pulling it up. So all of them were slow. It was the internet for sure, it wasn't the app. And that was really lame. So that's once again another reason to consider the FBA scan database. I know. Even though it costs money, it's not that expensive if you're going to be scanning a lot. But you don't have to worry about that kind of nonsense. You just pull it up immediately. That was super frustrating. Although I don't know, if there was that much stuff that I could have resold anyway, considering that this was on clearance for 12 bucks, and that's essentially what it's going for on Amazon. And also the other thing I don't like about briefly trying Profit Bandit is the little scanner. When you turn it on, it's a little tiny rectangle versus my entire screen almost using the Amazon seller app. So that was really weird, and I don't really understand that. Those that use Profit Bandit, don't you find that kind of annoying? It's such a tiny little rectangle that you're scanning with. And also when Profit Bandit returned, they returned a result, but they returned the result, but it was 8 of them. It had a little bit of a window that opened on the screen, and it showed all the results. So you could click on one, and that would show that product's item. So to me, that was annoying versus the Amazon seller app, which just opens the whole screen. It's like a whole page. You can scroll through it if you're looking for a particular one, and there were a lot of results. So those are just minor things that I didn't like about Profit Bandit, just briefly using it. So there you go. That's my first initial reaction to Profit Bandit as an option, a backup to the Amazon seller app. Now that I'm back home and I had a chance to look up those golf balls on my laptop, I found out that the golf balls are ranked 8,700 in sports and outdoors, which I believe is a really good rank. And based upon the other FBA sellers who are currently priced above Amazon, they must be waiting for Amazon to run out of golf balls. So to me, that says that it's selling quite a lot, and there's quite a lot of reviews, really good reviews on top of that. So that's good. One thing I was thinking about after I bought it was the weight. They're not super heavy. They're heavy enough to take away some of the profit. So having to send them into Amazon, and then when they're shipped out, it's going to eat into the profit a bit, and there's not a ton of profit there. So I'm kind of looking at this as a learning experience and an experiment, just to get out there in retail and scan some different items, to see what's out there and to see what I can find, basically just scanning as much as possible. Because I bought the items for $2, but according to the Amazon seller app, I would only make about $6, a little over $6 that Amazon would pay me based upon them being shipped out and me shipping them in and that sort of thing. So it's going to be about 3 times what I spent on them, so about $18 that I'll get paid roughly for them. However, I listed them in my account, and then I wanted to see where they were going to be sent, and of course Amazon splits them. 3 boxes of 12 golf balls, and they split them. 2 in-state, which is great, and then 1 box all the way to South Carolina. So that kind of that makes me want to just send 2 in and hold on to the other one. But we'll see. I'm starting to go through the CDs that I got from the bulk buy recently. So I'm going to add those to the shipment and see if that makes any difference. Or take out one of the box of golf balls just so they'll all go in state and hang on to the other one. Maybe until I get some other types of items that are going to be going to South Carolina, or just add it in and see if they don't split it. I don't know what it would cost to go to South Carolina, but considering that's the only thing in there, if it's going to cost, $2 or $3, then that's really going to eat into the profit, and I'm barely going to make anything off of it. I'll probably end up having to do it anyway because I got to sell them. So even if I break even, at least I can sell them and get rid of them and not waste money. It's all part of the learning process. So I just thought it would be fun to do that, even though I'm still just basically doing books and other media. But I think it's good to kind of dabble in other stuff and just kind of get a feel for it. Some of the things I like about retail arbitrage are that a lot of the items can sell really quickly. Of course, it depends on the item. There's plenty that don't sell quickly, but there's a good chance that if they're in the store that they're probably selling fast at Amazon as well. If I can get at least 3 times profit, spend $2, make $6, spend $5, make $15, etc., then it's probably worth it, assuming that it just hits the warehouse and sells within a few days or a week or two. At least you get money back quickly. And of course, if it's a higher priced item, if it's a $20 item, and I can make 3 times my money, $60, then that's worth it, especially if it sells fast. So I think it's just a good mix, kind of dabble in that, and I'm thinking that I'll very, very, very slowly do that. Not that much, but just kind of in anticipation of the holidays, just to see what I can get in there, maybe some toys and whatnot. Also just for next year to diversify, because I think that's a good idea, is diversify as much as possible. So give it a shot and we'll see what happens. As always, remember, keep booking! Okay, no más, no más.